pain, right? Terrain in general. You buy a set, you build a set, maybe years later you paint that set, but more likely it languishes in your to-paint pile long enough that the rules you were painting it for are no longer viable. As a wargamer, we've all felt the pain of terrain bloat. Every new edition and new season brings with it new terrain and new terrain rules. But what if I told you that you're adopted and those strangest raising... Oh, different video.
Different video. For f***'s sake.
But what if I told you you could buy one set of future-proof terrain and then raise the metaphorical finger to the man and never buy a future terrain set again? Cue the tape.
So, all jokes aside, this is Snot Goblin Gaming's FutureProof terrain set. It's a modular, almost Lego-style terrain kit designed to emulate the terrain layout of your favorite war games. The tiles themselves are generic enough in design that they can be used for sci-fi or fantasy settings, which is a great little feature. You can obviously paint them however you want and add futuristic posters to change their setting, but honestly, I think the beauty of this set is that it can be used for all your games, while boasting a huge diversity in builds and having a space-saving alternative to your current terrain.
So I heard about the upcoming Kickstarter for some modular Lego-like terrain, and I was already trying to reduce my already overflowing terrain backlog when I found this out. So I got in contact with the fine folks at Snot Goblin Gaming, and they sent me over a box of their future-proof terrain tiles to put to the test.
I wanted to get them on the table to test them with some actual games, but I did want them painted first. It is a daunting challenge painting terrain, but with the biggest brush that I have, I managed to get through the painting of all the terrain in a single evening after work. Now, this is all just dry brushing over a black primer, but that's good enough for gaming, and it leaves me open to go back in down the line and add in some extra details to the tiles. It's clear the set is geared to accommodate Warhammer 40,000. In fact, the set boasts like-for-like terrain builds for Games Workshop's approved terrain layouts for 10th edition, and this makes sense, it's the most popular game, but how does it stack up against Warhammer 40,000's cooler, edgier cousin, Kill Team? Obviously for casual play, it's fine, but let's have a look at that tournament map packs, and here's your classic Octarius terrain setup for a tournament game of Kill Team, and here's what it looks like with the future-proof modular gaming tiles. Kill Team terrain is a bit more unique than its big brother, and although you can replicate the terrain, it is missing a few features like doors and scrap heaps, but it's stuff that can easily be played around, and I think the main thing is, this does work. But Octarius is a hard set to match, custom built for Kill Team from the ground up, so let's have a look at Chalnath. It's a lot easier to see how the terrain can be used to replicate the tournament pack builds we see for Chalnath, and even the less fortunate, much maligned, ugly sister of Kill Team terrain sets, Morok. It's not perfect, but honestly, apart from Gillian Anderson, what is perfect, right? It's able to replicate 3 kill zones pretty accurately if you don't mind having to declare doors, and it'll work for 40,000, Age of Sigmar. Not sure the old world ever really used terrain that much, but all the one-page rule games, this stuff is perfect for. And if you aren't looking to remortgage your house in order to buy all the official terrain sets, then maybe this might be something that'll work for you. So this is all the terrain near enough for a half table set, which is what I got. Now this stuff can be used to build a ton of different board layouts. I've only shown a few, but what it does boast and more than delivers upon is how much space this set takes up versus your more traditional terrain sets.
What can't be denied is just how little space this stuff actually takes up. I mean, all this stuff gets packed away super easily. Here is what my current terrain looks like.
And then there's the official terrain sets. They get built up and end up being stored in their massive boxes. And this isn't even all of my Kill Team terrain. Let's not even talk about Into the Dark.
I think where the terrain really shone for me was it's just sheer versatility. I mean, I was playing around with it. It was just like Lego. I was building these random structures, and I think that's where the fun is, just being able to build these wacky maps with these massive structures or small little scattered out terrain ruins. I think it's got some great versatility, and by design built in. You can't deny that, really.
The terrain tiles themselves are really nice quality, straight out of the box. I didn't need to do any cleanup at all. No mold lines or anything like that. I was shocked, to say the least. I even emailed saying, is this the quality everyone can expect? And it is. It was super impressive. The terrain tiles, as I've mentioned already, are a nice generic design, and that does sound like a diss, but in the best sense. It means that this terrain will fit with any board and setting. I play a mix of fantasy and sci-fi themed games, and I always have an imbalance in my terrain, as most terrain sets are heavily themed to one style or another.
So I think the quality of the builds are great. I mean, they came out of the box, they didn't need any mold lines to be removed or anything like that. I've been clicking these in and out for the past couple of days, and honestly they click in real nice. And it's like, just they come apart. Anyone who's used to Into the Dark builds, it's nowhere near that level of frustration. You can just clip these in, and again, they come apart quite easily. You don't need, no cutlery is needed to remove these pieces and then slot them back in different ways. It's just this simple. I know I'm just using floor tiles, but honestly the rest of the wall construction, really simple. You put in the girders. Yeah, I will show you a bit. So you put in the girders, just slap these in, doesn't matter which way around, they're kind of reversible. And you can just easily slat in walls in between there. We're doing it live. Let's do it live. Here's the set. Here's a wall. Boom. Slats in. Next wall. We probably wouldn't be doing this in the mid-air, but you know. Clips in. Clips in. Boom. So if you've seen this and you think, I'd like to get some of this modular terrain goodness, the Kickstarter goes live on the 20th of February, so very soon, and I'll put the links in the description of the video. I do have an affiliate link, which is very exciting for me, so you can get some money off if you use my specific link and code, but I think just follow the link and it'll get you the place where you need to go to get that juicy discount. So I'm going to get some battle reports out on this terrain set so you can have a look at it in play, but I think it's just going to be, as you imagine, it's going to be great. It looks pretty decent. I'm probably going to do more narrative games just because I like the idea of building these massive structures and having people fight in them on different like levels, kind of like Game of Death, Bruce Lee style. That's what my mind's thinking. A little Bruce Lee Game of Death style battle report. But yeah, be sure to check them out. And again, if you like the video, the links to all the Kickstarter stuff will be in the description, so be sure to check it out if it looks like something that you're gonna like. So yeah, if it looks like something you're gonna want, check it out and just think this could be the last terrain set you ever buy. Pretty sweet.